All right, we're back at it again here at Minneapolis St. Paul. Of course, we flew in here yesterday in a Boeing 757-200. We flew for Delta. Now we're on our way back to Denver, also to get into the Pilot Edge airspace. So we'll be taking off, no ATC, but along the route we will enter the Pilot Edge airspace and request our IFR clearance once we get into the airspace so that we can go ahead and land at Denver. So now we're in the air. All right, jumping on board. As you can see, it's a flight in the evening. The local time here in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area is 10:13 p.m. If we want to see that Zulu time, it's 0313 Zulu. And I will need to update my AirX cycles today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump up top here, and let's turn our APU master on, and let's go ahead and start the APU. Along with that, let's go ahead and turn our pumps on, where we can make sure the up top area is all good to go. As you see here, because it is nighttime and it's a simulation world, I have a little flashlight tied to my mouse cursor. Alright, APU is coming up here. So we'll just wait until it gets to where it needs to be so that it becomes available. Alright, in the meantime, let's check our perf data. Over here, we've already established our trim position. So as you see, what I like about this aircraft, once you put it into the FMS, it will go ahead and calculate the actual trim setting, which it'll do it for itself here. So as you can see here, we're leaving flaps 2 and the trim is up 0.4. We got a flex takeoff, even though we're not doing flex takeoff, we're just doing full takeoff. So there you go. APU is available now. So let's go ahead and turn our APU bleeds on and make sure this is good to go. So now we'll turn our external power off and it jumps right on over to the APU. With that being said, let's let the folks know we are getting ready for departure out of the ramp area. So now we can come over here and request from the service crew to disconnect the ground power unit. So we'll click off. They're getting that request now. Let's go ahead and go to our checklist. Alright, that's all the setup before start. This is overhead panel. Okay, overhead start. APU start on, APU bleed on. So let's go check and make sure our APU bleed is on. APU bleed is on. Alright, external power's off, which you guys just saw me do that. Doors are closed. Now the way if you want to check the doors being closed is you can just come over here, click on door, and it's going to give you the door layout. It's going to show all the doors of the aircraft. All of the doors of the aircraft are all buttoned up and sealed. Okay, so we can check that. The beacon is on. You guys just saw me do that, but let's go on, and here's the beacon's already on. So that checklist is complete. That is the before start. This is push back and engine start, push and start clearance. We've obtained that ground communication. As you see, we're following their commands. Right side, let's verify that it is clear. So we're going to come over to my other side as the first officer, and the right side looks clear. There's an aircraft over there, so that's good. Okay, pedestal, engine mode selector, ignition start, engine master 2. That would be more for the engine start process. ECAM monitor, confirm stabilize, steps 3, 5, and 7. Repeat for engine 1 or the left side. So we can go ahead and call for a pushback now because that's official. Alright, you see the tug hard at work, pushing our Airbus A320 back from the gate. Alright, while we are pushing back, we will go ahead and explain our taxi. Alright, so today we are most certainly departing from runway 4, which as you can see is right here. So what we're going to do, your aircraft is being pushed back now. By the time we're done being pushed back, the aircraft will actually be facing the nose, facing north. As you can see now, the aircraft is being turned, so we can do that. Then we're going to go here and just pick up a nice little easy taxiway to come all the way down to runway 4. So if you see here Delta is our way to go. We're going to go ahead and cross runway 12 right /30 left. We'll cross, continue on Delta. And of course, Delta gets really funny here, so we'll come down and ensure that we stay on Delta to hit Kilo 3. Cross runway 35, and we'll be on Lima 3 here, holding short for runway 4. So it's going to be quite an interesting taxi. Again, you see us being turned around now at this point. We can look out the window and see that the tug is still hard at work. So that most certainly is going to be our taxi. Pretty much Delta all the way down. We'll try to stay on Delta. Today we are leaving on the Shepherd 9 departure. Alright, let's go ahead and get a look at that. It's pretty much a straight out departure. We're going to take off, as you see here, from runways 4, 22, and 35, initially on assigned heading. So we'll have to vector ourselves in order to get back on our course, because the winds right now are basically roughly out of the north, a little bit northeast, if you will. That's why we're taking off on runway 4, northern departure. We could have also maybe did runway 35, but 4 is going to work out perfectly for this departure. So this is Kilo 3 here. This is where we're going to cross runway 35. All right.
Approaching 35.
All right. We're crossing runway 35. Simulating lights and strobes on because we're crossing the runway, but I'm not actually going to do it. Now we are in Lima 3. And we are getting ready to approach our next runway here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and stop there. Let's go ahead and put the parking brake up and get ready to go. Parking brake is set. Alright, let's come over here. Let's see. Alright, after start, that's all good to go. Taxi was good to go. We are at the point where we are before takeoff. TCAS TARA tilt above. As you can see here, TARA, it's on. Alright, next, engine mode selector as required. We're going to keep it ignitions on for now, because if you come over here and look at our annunciator panel, the ignitions being on is not an issue, so we need that. Once we get in the air, we'll turn the ignitions off. Alright, the brake temperature check should be 150. Alright, just in case we ever do the brake temperatures get too hot, there's the brake fan. But if we wanted to actually check on the braking, the brake temperatures, you could come over here to the wheel and you can see here's the temperatures, 55, 55, here's all the brake temperatures here. So we're good to go there. Alright, next, brake fans are off, which I just showed you. The sliding table is stowed. The sliding tables go right here. They're stowed. You can take it out for your checklist. And then, of course, you can also push it back in. There we go. Alright, that is stowed back in. Alright, takeoff, lineup clearance is obtained, external lights on. And here's the after takeoff spoiler, engine mode select as required, taxi light off, engine as required, packs 1 and 2 on. We'll take care of that once we get up. Alright, so let's go ahead and get out of here. Here's our lights. We're going to full on. We're going to strobe on. Now we have all of our lights on, strobes on. We don't need the wing light on. We are ready for our departure to the runway. Alright, so we're going to continue our left turn. Let's get that, our right turn. Let's get that brake off. Alright. Alright, we are most certainly getting ready to line up for runway 4. Runways 4 heading is 45, but we don't need that since it's pretty much, we know which way we're going to be going. So let's go ahead and line up. All right.
Approaching 3, 5.
All right, we are on runway 4. Let's advance the power.
Approaching on runway 04.
All right, 04. It had that 35 because the runway's crossed, but now it recognizes we're on 4. Power set to takeoff. Man, Togo. Speed is alive. Past 80 knots, of course. V1 and rotate. Up 10 degrees. Positive rate here is coming up. All right, we're just going to follow the needle on up. Continue to fly the aircraft here for a second till we get the climb notification. Just going to hand fly it here for a second. All right, folks. Let's go ahead and hit that autopilot. All right. Got the aircraft climbing. We're going to throw it into climb mode. Now what you see, it's over in climb mode. We're going to continue to go ahead and climb up. We don't have any restrictions, so we're going to go all the way up to 38,000 feet. Which, of course, I should have put this on the MCP earlier, but it's no worries. As you see, it's smooth sailing. Okay, let's go ahead and start our own navigational left turn, so that we can get on course. All right, let's pull this out. All right, we're going to continue our turn. And let's go flaps up. Here. Denver approach, United 2753, 12,000. All right, let's just make sure we type that in. 123.85.
United 2753, Denver approach, descend and maintain 10,000.
10,000, United 2753. All right. Down to 10,000, of course. Let's start making that happen. We'll get a regular standard descent of 18,000 feet per minute. And we are looking good. All right, let's go down here to our perf. And as you can see, we need to go ahead and look at our landing. QNH for the field is, like we said, 2997, which, you know, part of this busy moment, I forgot to put that in here because we are below the standard. So let's take that off. 2997 down to 10,000. All right, so we have that in, and the winds, we're only at 5 knots, so we can even do a full flaps landing. V approach is 139. No worries there. Let's see here the winds. Let's put, I wrote them down. The winds were, I believe, at 4 or 5 knots. We will keep that out of there because I'm not clear about that, and I don't feel like calling the ATIS again. So there you go. We've got a VREF of 134, and it is +5, and it's at 139, so it did recognize the wind already, even though the standard thing to do is to put that in. I don't even know why that's even important. So anyway, there we go. So we will activate the approach phase soon enough. All right, we're getting closer, so let's go ahead and slow us down to 210. So we don't have that to worry about. Let's get our auto brakes to medium. Ground spoilers are armed.
Grand Junction Tower, 3455 is clear of the runway. Can we just park direct ahead because
first officer side, mess with his
difficult
stuff.
to taxi with single engine. 55 Carter, taxi straight ahead of the ramp, running this frequency. Have a good night. Thank you very much. Have a good night as well. Taxi direct ahead and remain on the frequency. 55 Echo. At 2753, 15 miles from the final approach fix. Turn left, heading 190. Maintain 8,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS runway 16 right approach.
190 on the heading. Instead of maintain 8,000, cleared ILS 16 right. Cleared ILS 16 right approach. Maintain 8,000 for United 2753. All right. There we go. I stopped pushing the button, so we're going down to 8,000. And we're going to arm the localizer, of course.
Number 1 Kilo Charlie, taxi straight into the ramp, remain this frequency, good night. Right ahead, this frequency, 1 Kilo Charlie, good night.
All right. That should have us pick up the localizer fairly quick. Once we get that, once the localizer becomes alive, we will go ahead and most certainly do what we need to do there in terms of getting our visuals. Here's the runway here. So if you can notice, we're going 16 right. Aircraft is slowing down. All right. Once we get the aircraft a little slower, we'll do a speed check. Flaps 1. All right. Let's get into that 190 mark now. Just waiting for the localizer to all right, let's go previous phase. Let's activate. Let's confirm. Now it's active. For the runway, let's come back over here. Radio and nav, you can tell here the ILS frequency 11110 is in there, and the final course is actually 173, which matches up perfectly with the chart. So we're good there. We're just waiting to capture the localizer, which that'll be done here shortly. And as you can see, he basically vectored us right here to our fix, and this gap between this line, now this is very important, folks, for ILS landing, and I had to learn this the hard way prior to this. About 2 years ago, I learned this the hard way. There is a gap between here and here. It cannot be more than 30 degrees between here, or the ILS systems on most aircraft will just turn you all the way around. So it has to be 30 degrees or under as you approach to capture the ILS. So we definitely, if you look at our course heading of 190 and where this is going to be at approximately 175, that is definitely under 30. So we should have no problem capturing the localizer. As stated, localizer is captured. Now we have to push the approach button. Booyah. And now it'll be active for the glide slope, which we just captured. Let's go ahead and turn on our landing cues now and get us down to our V approach. Let's check that again. V approach is 139. Let's adhere to the 139. And tower frequency is 153.
At 2753, contact Denver Tower 135.3.
2,500.
Denver Tower 135.3 for United 2753. All right, 135.3. There we go. 135.3. Denver Tower United 2753 on the ILS 16 right. All right.
At 2753, Denver Tower runway 16 right, clear to land, wind 1507.
Cleared to land, 16 right, United 2753. All right, so let's get our aircraft slowed down here a little bit. on the speed. And we're going to go gear down, of course. Autopilot off.
Flaps. Flaps.
All right.
1,000.
Let's extinguish that.
Approaching 16 right.
All right. All right. Go around for United 2753.
Too high.
United 2753, roger. Turn right, heading 180, climb and maintain 900,000.
180 on the heading, 900,000 for United 2753. All right, back to autopilot. Not quite sure what happened there, but as you see, it did
75311 Whiskey, contact Spokane approach 123.75.
All right, we're going up.
Alaska 405, contact NorCal approach 135.1.
Here's
Yeah, 2753, contact Denver approach 123.75. Correction 123.85.
123.85 for you, United 2753. All right, flaps are back up.
Alaska 405 is 13,000 descending,
Come back
11,000
over
on the
here.
Bodega 3 with Tango.
Alaska 405, NorCal approach, expect visual approach, runway 28 left.
Expect visual 28 left, Alaska 405.
Denver approach, United 2753 with you, climbing 8,000, currently at 7,200.
2753, Denver departure, radar contact, turn right heading 320, expect vectors ILS 16 right approach.
320 expecting vectors ILS 16 right approach, United 2753. All right.
Walker 169, contact Seattle Center 135.15.
Spokane approach, 5311 Whiskey, level 13,000.
Over 5311 Whiskey, Spokane approach, roger, descend and maintain 8,000. Information alpha is current, expect vectors ILS 21 approach.
There we go, folks. Sometimes you have
Descend
issues
and
on
maintain
approach.
8,000. 5311 Whiskey.
So we've got the gear back up, and we've got our speed maintained here. Let's maintain a speed of 170, and hopefully
2753, turn right heading 340.
right 340, United 2753. All right, we're going
Alaska
340.
405, descend and maintain 900,000.
900,000, Alaska 405.
All right, we're right 340.
Denver 11 Whiskey, flying 100, vectors ILS approach.
All right, now let's go ahead and get our aircraft a little bit slower.
I'll repeat again for 5311 Whiskey.
Denver 11 Whiskey, fly heading 100, vectors ILS approach.
Fly heading 100, the ILS, 5311
All
Whiskey.
right, let's remember here, our V approach is 139. All right, we are pretty much downwind of the field now.
Alaska 405, contact
the
Denver,
field there, so
correction,
let's see
NorCal
if we can
approach
get it right this time.
135.65.
3565, Alaska 405.
We're not quite downwind yet, so let's
NorCal approach, Alaska 405
Yes, up
is
to about 170.
1,200 descending, 9,000.
Alaska 405, NorCal approach, descend and maintain 4,000.
4,000, Alaska 405.
all right. I think we're just going to, it was ILS, but I think we're just going to, well, we'll look for the localizer again and see how that works out. Again, I don't know what happened. You know, I went to set the MCCP speed and nothing happened. So, in that case, guys, you don't force it. You just do a go around. You always want to do that if the approach isn't stable, something's not looking right. It's better to just do a go around. So everything's in here.
Yeah, 2753, turn 10 degrees right.
10 degrees right, United 2753. All right, 10 degrees right. All right, let's just double check again. All of our landing lights are, you know what? And it's a good thing we did go around. We got so busy and with the routing change and everything, and I made an honest mistake and did not turn the landing lights on. So here you go.
175. Contact Seattle Center 135.15.
All right. So approach checklist. Sliding table stowed. External lights are on. Seatbelt sign.
United
Verify on.
2753. Descend and maintain 8,000.
Down to 8,000. United 2753. All right. Down to 8,000 we go.
November 11 Whiskey, descend and maintain 7,000.
Descend and maintain 7,000, 5311 Whiskey.
Walker 175.
Okay, as you see here, we're still pretty close. We're going down to 8,000. Marin, as you see here, the altitude constraint is 8,000, so that's probably where he's going to vector us into. As we start our turn, we'll slow down again and make sure we get our MCP speed right where it needs to be. All right. All right, so a lot of struggles with this flight today. Start of struggling was my flight planning. Prior to me starting recording so that you guys could be on board was an issue. So then as we were coming into the field, I had to report to the controller that we did not have the preferred arrival on board, so we are basically using a secondary arrival. Then we come in on approach. Everything was looking good. We go to set our MCP speed to have the aircraft do it, and it doesn't do it. Go figure. So fortunately we were able to save it because we were already on the ILS approach. Basically the whole problem was our speed. And it was already set to the speed, so there was no need for me to pull this knob out. If you see the arrows up,
2753 to right, heading 080.
080 on the heading, United 2753. All right.
Left 405, turn left, heading 330.
Essentially,
left 405.
you guys have witnessed a missed approach, which it's not anything special. I normally don't have missed approach, so it's more special for me than it is for anybody else. All right, let's rearm those spoilers.
7531 on Whiskey, turn right, heading 120.
Approach checklist.
Turn
Sliding
right,
table,
120,
steering lights on,
Whiskey.
seatbelt sign, verify. The LS
2753, descend and maintain 7,000.
down to 7,000, United 2753. All right, the LS button is already, or was on. Let's go 7,000 here. All right. Down to 7,000 we go. All right, and Jetson is actually at 7,000, so he's making sure we come in nice and low. We are at flaps 2.
Number 11 Whiskey, descend and maintain 5,000.
Anyway, LS we already have on. Pressurization is checked. Heat vent status is checked.
And at 2753, 5 miles from the final approach fix, turn right heading 130. Maintain 7,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS, runway 16 right approach.
Okay, right heading 170. We'll maintain 7,000 until established on the ILS for 16 right. Cleared 16 right. ILS approach for United 2753.
Alaska 405, fighting
All right.
320. Report the airport in sight. That's your 11 o'clock in 16 miles.
320, we've got the
Rearm the
airport in sight,
localizer once again. 170 on the heading.
Approach runway 28 left.
Clear visual 28 left, Alaska 405.
So we've armed it once again. Now let's go ahead and decrease that speed. See, I'm doing it now and it's going down just fine for our V approach of 139. All I did is simply remove the number and it's going down. We're going gear down. Come over here a little bit to the left so we can get closer to the line at first. We are at 7,000. We're at our approach speed.
Yeah, 2753, contact Denver Tower 135.3.
Over to Denver Tower 135.3, United 2753. Alright. Over to Denver Tower. There we go. Denver Tower, United 2753, ILS 16 right.
Yeah, 2753, Denver Tower, runway 16 right, clear to land, wind 1507.
16 right, clear to land, United 2753. Alright, landing. Taxi light set to takeoff. Missed approach altitude set. Missed approach altitude is 9,000. Let's see here. Let me make sure that's correct. Alright, spoilers on. Landing
Seattle Center
126.6. After landing, we're good there. Alright. We should be getting the localizer here in a second.
Contact San Francisco Tower 120.5.
Tower left.
Localizer. Now we need to rush over here and approach.
Descend and maintain 4,000.
Alright.
Descend and maintain
Landing gears
4,000.
down.
311 whiskey.
Runway light is to take off. Everything else is squared away.
Tower left. 405 is visual 28 left.
Autopilot is off.
405 San Francisco Tower, runway 28 left, wind 280,
Alright, folks.
24, clear to land.
Landing
Clear
gears
left,
all
clear
down.
left, left,
Green.
clear.
Flaps are full. Alright. Let's follow our leads in.
Okay, 434 Echo Papa, Seattle Center, Roger, Bowerman, altimeter 3012, advise when you have the weather, say approach request.
There we go.
Roger.
Alright.
Number 5311 Whiskey, 7 miles from final approach fix, turn right, heading 180, maintain 4,000 until established auto localizer, third ILS, runway 21 approach.
Turn right 180, maintain 4,000 until established on the approach, cleared ILS, runway 21, 5311 Whiskey.
Alright, small little changes.
$500, $400,
Alright. Landing.
$300, $200,
Alright. Getting ready to land and
$100,
perform our flare.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard,
Alright. Alright. We got our reverse thrusters on. Reverse free. Alright. And on over we go. Alright. We are on the field, nice and slow. And of course, we stopped way earlier than our initially intended Delta 5, but we're gonna get off the runway here, just take Delta down. Whiskey Bravo. Not the prettiest approach or landing, of course. However, it was a safe one nonetheless. Very sloppy. Errors on my part. Glitches with the plane. That's why we just have to take our time. Alright, let's not forget Bravo 43 is the third gate north of that little notch at the Bravo concourse. Alright. Let's start getting our flaps up. Okay. Let's get our landing lights off. Denver Tower United 2753 clear of runway 16 right.
At 2753, roger, taxi via Delta 5, and Whiskey Bravo to the ramp, remain this frequency.
Delta 5, Whiskey Bravo to the ramp, remain this frequency. Thanks for all of your help. See you next time, United 2753.
No problem, have a good day.
You too, sir. Alright, he was actually exceptional. Strobes are off. Alright, Delta, let's go ahead and taxi in. Flaps are up. Speed brake is down and retracted.
Scott 4 Echo Papa, roger, thank you. Cross US, center above 4000, cleared ILS, runway 24 approach.
Alright. We're coming on Delta here.
Denver 11 Whiskey, contact Spokane Tower 118.3.
Thank goodness Denver is well lit.
118.3, 5311 Whiskey.
These lights sure aren't bright. Alright, we are on Delta.
Spokane Tower, 5311 Whiskey, ILS runway 21.
We're keeping that line. Let's keep this to takeoff. There we go.
Denver 5311 Whiskey. And friction Spokane Tower, runway 21, clear to land, wind 2605.
Cleared to land, runway 21, 5311 Whiskey.
Alright. Even with issues, we still made it. We are looking for Whiskey Bravo. Alright, we got Delta 5 coming up here. Whiskey Bravo, you could still take Delta and still go down and hit another Whiskey Bravo. This is like the Whiskey Bravo shortcut coming up here once we get Delta 5.
West 405 is cleared to 8 left.
Alright, this here to the left is Delta 5.
405 going out to the ramp, remain this frequency, good day.
Have a good night, West 405.
Alright, we are on Delta 5 now. And then we'll conduct another left turn, Whiskey Bravo. We'll double check third gate after the notch. We'll locate the notch and we'll get it in. It'd be a lot better if we had ramp control and some ground marshalers to marshal us in, but we don't have that. We have us. Well, me, then you, of course, because you're watching, but us. We're a team in this. Since you're watching and you're on board, your health and welfare is at my hands, in my hands, so we need to work together as a team on this, folks. Alright. Here we go. Continue our left here. Now we are joining Whiskey Bravo. Okay, we are on Whiskey Bravo. Got some
Approaching 3-4 right.
runway lights, of course, but we are shy of the runway. We're actually on a taxiway. It just gives you that notification. We crossed the runway, but we didn't cross over its pavement. The runway was actually to our left at the start threshold, if you will. Alright, folks, we're cooking right on into the ramp area. We'll look for the notch, and then the third gate after the notch. And we'll do us some parking. Alright. I've gotta love X-Plane carts. They have no regard for anyone's safety. They'll drive right through the plane. I don't know if they did that to keep it funny, or they just don't have a way to control them. Look, these guys are just driving little ants. This is the notch, so third gate after this notch, folks. Alright, so let's keep a look here. Let's jump over here to the first officer side, so we can take a look. Keep our little coast going here. Alright. There's the notch. This is the end of the notch.
5411 Whiskey, taxi vehicle to the ramp, remain this
Check
frequency.
1, 2, 3.
Taxi vehicle in this frequency 5311 Whiskey.
Alright, let's slow down. There's the notch. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that's the gate there we need to start turning into. This guy right here. Alright. Slow our roll. Alright. Yep, and that's it. B43. So we found the gate, folks. Good job. All right. Line up on the line, of course. Slow our approach speed. Now there's no marshallers here, but you see we got ourselves on the line, so now